What's going on, beautiful creatures and daydreamers? Happy, well, today is Sunday, so happy Sunday to all of you handsome beings and gorgeous people out there around the world, wherever you are at. Ah, there is a lot of catching up we have to do, but first off, welcome to our new YouTube channel. Uh, as you can see, we are at the airport and we're just living our best life. Our hair looks crazy. We look crazy. We're wearing our body cam, aka our GoPro, which isn't on. Um, but you all will get to see footage of our daily life and what that looks like. As you can also hear, sensory play. Um, There will be quite a few announcements that go on in the background, but we're going to continuously move the video along because, this is our life and this is real life because, some beings will consider us social scientists, some will consider us a life coach, a therapist, psychologist, behavioral health specialist, all of these things. But this is just us sitting down, recording videos that are super awesome. Some are going to be fun, some are going to be about angel talk. Some of them are going to get, up close and personal, as not just one on one, but in group settings as well as with other individuals. But yeah, we're just super excited. And while we have the energy, we just decided, let's sit down and have angel talk with you all today because this is the start of our 30-day challenge. Because, October's coming up, and for some beings that like to wear things like this, as you can see, ours has a master lock on it and a key, and also our tag that says coach. Locktober is what it's called for some beings. It's coming up, and we wanted to do something that is different. We like to stay outside of the binaries of life, and if you aren't sure what binaries are, it's literally just the extremes, the light and dark, the black and white, the right and wrong, the masculine, feminine, and everything else because we're always in the middle and we shift sometimes a little to the right and then sometimes to the left, or I guess this would be you all's right and this would be the left for you. But welcome. We're not nervous or anxious. We're just a little tired. We'll show you on our nifty watch here, have closed all of the rings. This isn't the best view, by the way. The quality will be a lot better. We just decided to record from our laptop because our camera is dead, and not this one, but the camera we usually record on. But with that being said, I guess we'll just jump right into the beginning of this. Um, For those of you who do not know who we are, hello, our name is Delante, but sometimes we go by Leo because love is ours, and that's why it's not spelled Elio, it's Elio, but it's a play off of a few different things, obviously. If you follow any of our social media, you will come to find that we are non-binary, a being that lives outside of the binary. So it's like a genderless name. Um, it's also a play off of this persona that we used to put up, or facade persona, all of these things, which are just sequential patterns of action, also known as behaviors. And that's something that we'll get to talk about in a different video, not only about behavior, but why we put on that persona. Um, and Oh yeah, and by the way, we used to go by this being named Julio, so we just took the LIO from Julio. Also, again, a play off of our gender expression, as well as a play off of our zodiac sign because we are a Leo. But enough about us. um, Hold on one moment. Excuse us. We just drank a crap ton of water and eat this nifty little candy bar because we needed some energy, some sugar, but also because we are getting LASIK Thursday to help correct not only uh, the misconstruction of our cornea from wearing contacts throughout the years, and yes, we didn't take care of our vessels properly as we should have back in the day. So we would sleep in them, and that would not only just because we were continuous wear, everyday wear and tear of contacts because they sit on your cornea, but also sleeping in them and like catching what is the name of it? Conjunctiva something. If you all know, please put it down in the description below. For all of our other uh, clinical counseling and wellness experts, again, sorry. Oh, that's fine. We're talking about health and the Center well, an announcement for the Center of Disease Control pops up. But anyway, back to, by the way, it's the medical term for pink eye. Because we know a little bit about a lot. And right now we're drawing a blank. Also, it's just later in the day. I mean, it's only 6:49 here, but we get up so early. We've been up since about 4:30. We've always gotten up this early, whether it was to work at uh, LA Fitness or to get ready for school, whether it was grade school, undergrad, grad school, our doctorate program, all of that. But we, again, we chugged this water and ate some of that candy because we have these eye drops and we take them 4 times a day, both, one drop in each eye. And this one is the one that's super cool. I mean, we can't see the side effects, but this one's cool. You're supposed to shake well before using, and it is here. We would pronounce the name, but we don't want to butcher it, so we'll let you all read it. And it's pretty much just like fake tears. But this one, the afloxacin, this one is devil sent. We've never experienced an eye drop that, well, this is also a steroid, so it would make sense, but you drop one in each eye, and for us, like, we can taste it on the left side of our face. Obviously, it's a steroid, so you would expect it to be a very strong. Um, and we don't like to say chemical because beings would be like, oh no, but I mean, for someone who understands chemistry and isn't really afraid of words that interchanging words, for lack of better words, we never had a medication where we can taste it just by dropping it in our eyes. And we're super excited. There's two different, well, there's multiple types of corrective eye surgery that one can get, but the one that we're getting is super awesome because they're going to shoot laser shows into our eyes, about 10 to 15 minutes in each eye, but we don't have to have our cornea sliced open. Um, and this specific type of LASIK is also known as photorefracting. And for short, it's PRK. And we're a great candidate for it. Super excited. Again, we want to showcase more electrical currents coursing through our body, but we're just very, very exhausted. We've had a long day between visiting clients and getting things prepared for his surgery. Again, it is Sunday, but it's 4 days away, and we're just doing a lot. Um, and we would edit these videos, but we really want to do things differently. We definitely do social media a lot different than other beings, and TBH, we don't work in social media. We want people to know that we don't work in social media. We don't get paid from social media. It is just another tool extension to have fun with, post. It's really just called advertising and marketing, is what it is, but we're not advertising anything. We advertise our life progress, yes. And if you scroll through our social media, you'll see we don't have a huge following, and we like to keep it that way because it's not necessarily that we're hiding from the camera or anything of that nature, hence why we actually put our life out there. And when we say we put our life out there, we literally put everything out there from when we're feeling. Oh, and by the way, we did say electrical currents. Those electrical currents are also known as our emotions, and our emotions help us feel different vibrations or frequencies. Obviously, happiness, sorrow, annoyance, um, forgiveness, sympathy, empathy, all of those things. And we're pretty generally a more upbeat being. But again, enough about us because we don't. It's not that we're conservative because that's not what this is. We are definitely very. We're not gonna say liberal. We're just very extroverted. Um, but it's funny, sitting in front of this camera and creating a schema, depending on how you beings want to pronounce the word, because to be honest, words are just made up sounds strung together. Anyone can really make a word. We're so chill. Um, this and technically, we're supposed to be wearing our masks. We have pink. We like to show both sides of the spectrum. So we have on our blue sweatshirt with our pink mask. And then underneath we have a neutral colored t-shirt, which is a white t-shirt. And it's actually a V-neck because we like to showcase a little bit of the cleavage, even though we don't have the girls. But in a perfect world, um, even though LASIK is the only surgery that we are opting to undergo, um, in another world, if we weren't okay with our anatomy, because being non binary, yes, we feel and look differently in our body or in our heart, but at the end of the day, we are very much okay with our anatomy. We might not identify with it. And it's why, like, we understand the soul is infinite or gender. Well, it is infinite. It's a bunch of energy, but we also understand that it's genderless. Can't really showcase your soul's anatomy. Your anatomy comes from your vessel, and the vessel just houses the spirit. So last time you all saw us, we had done quite a bit of traveling and interviewing beings from different lands and all of that, and it's super awesome. And we're very grateful for those beings because they opened up gateways and doors and realms and dimensions that we have only thought of. So to materialize those things and transmit ourselves, project ourselves into these pathways, it's like, thank you all from Gian to Shep to Sal and everyone else. Like, we're very grateful for you, and you all have humbled us so much by enlightening us on not only your homeland, but also your culture and what you as an individual or what you all as individuals like to do in your spare time when no one's looking, your favorite foods and colors and life paths as well. Just know everyone's on a different life path, and if you're into in psychology, it's called typology, and we don't really like to. Um, yes, we study it, but we don't like to uh, tag these labels to beings or ourselves because what anyone can do, and keyword can do, is assess themselves with Myers-Briggs and zodiac signs, or which is also known as like your natal chart. Um, if you take a disc assessment, the color assessment, all of these things, we can sometimes get stuck in these precursors, thinking that this is just who we are and it's a definite or a definitive of who we are, and it's not really like that, you know. So when we take the Myers Briggs and we take these tests, like we take all life assessments, not just personality. We take the behavioral, we take the mental and the physical health exams as well, every 3 months, every quarter. So we always get ENFJ. It's also known as the protagonist personality type. And for a very long time, I mean, now we're 28, but prior to turning, and we'll say for lack of better understanding, prior to 25, we would always be the protagonist of everyone else's story and waiting for a protagonist, our Superman, our Batman, our Wonder Woman, um, you know, our Catwoman, and everything else. Sorry, we just like cracked our neck and it felt really good. We're very awkward. We'll say that. We're not as awkward when others are around, but when we're by ourselves or in front of the camera, we're going to be awkward. And that's okay because you all are getting to see the real us. But we were always looking for someone to like save us. And it was like, no one, and we'll let you all know right here and now, no matter how like into like demisexual aspects of your psychology, no matter how like submissive you all can or we all can get because we're everything and just because we wear this collar doesn't mean that we're submissive. We're actually not submissive. Well, we have aspects of submissiveness, but not in the way others or some of you might think. But we were always looking for someone to save us. Not necessarily clean up our mess, just come and save us. And then we're like, okay, now we can clean up our mess versus, ooh, we have to get it together prior because that's how you attract and manifest more, you know? If you are into spirituality or, and we're not a, we're not into Scientology at all. Um, some beings, no man. Um, but because we are a being who understands science and all of that, it is true. The more energy we put out into the universe and the more positive and constructive it is, yes, the more you will manifest, the more you'll be able to obtain. So if you genuinely like your job, then you're going to wake up on time enough to shower, brush your teeth, do something to your hair, do something to your face, put on nice clothing or clothing that appeals to your career path, then you're going to go to that career or into that career. Well, yeah, you're going to go to your place of establishment and you are going to genuinely enjoy doing what you do, meaning you're going to make more money, more electrical currents because your brain is rapidly firing, you're producing a lot more, you're doing a lot more, you're happy, you're excited, meaning then if you're going to have more of this, you're going to be able to do more, such as buy a car, get a home of some sort, whether it's a studio, it's a condo, it is a house, a trailer, home, all of these things. There's so many different ways beings can live. Even if you don't want to have that type of lifestyle where you're stationary, you can have a lifestyle because you have a job that allows you to travel. So you can easily have like an affordable place where you can get to have someone rent out, Airbnb, landlord, whatever case, to help you have residual income to continuously move around until you're ready to plant your feet. And as you all can see from my social media, that that's what we do a lot of. We do a lot of traveling. Yes, we have a place to rest our head every night outside of hotels and things of that nature, but it wasn't always like that, you know. We started from the bottom up, just like a lot of other people, and this comes from somebody who has multiple degrees. And, you know, like for a very long time, we lied about our education because we didn't feel socially acceptable being a person of color who kind of struggled with their psychological and behavioral health. So we like lied about graduating from undergrad. We lied about what our undergrad was in because we are someone who has an IQ that is a little bit higher when it comes to science. But then our minor, because we graduated with forensics and chemistry, but our minor was criminal justice and plea law. Here goes that loud announcement again. Uh, but like being a person of color who works in law enforcement, no matter, or because yeah. When you work in law enforcement, or also known as again behavioral health, because it's not just psychology, because that's what we do now. We are a psychologist, but correctional officer, forensic scientist, and all of this that's behavioral health. You know, we study human behavior. We correct human behavior by conditioning, whether it's classical or operant, reward, discipline, sounds, and sensory play, and all of that. So that's why, like earlier, you heard that, and that's why we move our hands. It's ways to influence is a fun word that beings love to use nowadays, also known as hypnotize, again, condition, teach is really what it is. It's just attention grabbers. Even this is an attention grabber because this has nothing to do with pup play, even though you all have seen us in a pup mask. We'll be honest, it's 2021 and we've been in a pandemic since 2019, and we ourselves haven't even had sex since the pandemic back in November of 2019, and that was because we had contracted syphilis, which scared the shit out of us. We've talked about this before, you know. Luckily, syphilis is an STI and not an STD. There's technically only two types of STDs, and we'll toss HIV, which go if gone untreated can turn into AIDS. Um, we toss that up under as just one, even though again it's almost like an umbrella term, like non-binary. Trans is the umbrella term for non-binary, but we have that one, and then obviously we have, excuse us, herpes. Herpes doesn't go away. Simplex 2. Simplex 1, yes, here, but down there, which is Simplex 2, doesn't go away. And we've talked about that in videos. Um, even hepatitis. Hepatitis. Okay, so now, like, okay, well, there are actually a few. We're not forgetting. We just like to say certain things so people can go do their own research, and because we don't want to seem as if we know everything, because to be honest, we don't know everything. Um, Even doctors, well, other doctors, like, we all don't know everything. We go through continual education just like you all, and we go to seminars and things of that nature. We also have to look things up in the book, stuff that we learned, because again, we can't remember everything. No one can remember every single thing that has happened. We have photographic memory, everyone does, but to a large extent, no one has a photographic memory that remembers every single last detail from the day they were born until where they are at in life. Well, depending on how young or far in life they are. Uh, So yeah, we know this video was all over the place, and technically we're supposed to script things out, write them down, blase blase, edit, but we're unfiltered, and we're not robotic, we're not perfect. Uh, so yeah, even though some beings will say that we are robotic and we posted this on our Instagram today, a photo of us. You know, saying that we get called robotic a lot because we do what's a defense mechanism, and it actually comes from a healthy place versus an unhealthy space. But we compartmentalize, meaning we will box things and push them to the side, and it's a really great technique if you are wanting to keep information to yourself so that you don't get hurt, or you might not want to put someone else's information out there. Um, but we do it and this isn't just us, humans can do it and we do it quite often, more than we realize. But because we compartmentalize very often and so easily, that we get called robotic because we beings have a hard time influencing or manipulating us to feel certain electrical currents, and that's okay. That's okay. We're not really looking for someone to have that much control over us, and there's things that we do where beings um, don't get to see that, or they do see it, and it's super awesome when they do get to see, us put down that wall. And some beings have, a lot of beings actually have tried to groom us. Some were successful to a certain extent, but majority don't get as much as they want out of us, or anything at all. And this goes for, you know, military personnel or people in uniform, police officers, to even friends and family members, um, potential lovers and lover, because we are a monogamous being, and we view polyamory a lot differently. We view polyamory as the social construct of, yes, dating multiple beings, because we feel like dating is not, it doesn't have to be sexual. It can, and it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be platonic, and it can be friendship. It can be co-worker related, family oriented, all of these things. Like we all, like we're humans, and we're geared for connection, or wired for connection. Intimacy does go a long way. It goes a lot further than just penetration, and that's what we're all about. Like intimacy, building a euphoric atmosphere for others. Hence why a lot of beings come to us and talk to us about things, um, personal, non-personal, and everything else. That's what we love about our job as a behavioral health specialist, or again, therapist, psychologist, counselor, correctional officer, all of these things. And yeah, you wouldn't expect this little 135-pound little teen to help correct. But again, that's what we do. That's We use grooming, but we do it in a great way, and in a positive way. We do it in a way that will help ascend somebody on their path in a constructive manner, where they themselves are doing majority of the work, which is on a cognitive level, without them relying on us. Or let me not say relying, because we all are codependent, but being dependent is the problem. So like, we do it so beings can, we work together to do majority of the work. That's the one thing that we um, take pride in, because so many beings have wanted to assist us, yes, but they wanted to do the work for us, and we're like, no, honey, we don't need you to. We actually don't need you to save us, and it's okay to not want to be saved, just assisted, and you know. So I guess we'll end off on those notes. There's a lot that went on. There's a lot of things going on in the background. But again, this is our real life, and this is what we do, and this is how we behave when we're not on the clock. So please don't think that this is like some version of clinical therapy or clinical counseling. It's psychotherapy, yes. Talk therapy, yes. This is therapeutic as it is for you all to like watch and learn. It is for us. Me, our preferred pronouns are collective, so they them there. That's why we say it. Yeah, I guess again you could say like that might be a little bit of an influence or like a grooming technique to get you all to again like focus and pay attention or be like, oh my gosh, you're using or they're using terms that we identify with because we're not the only one that uses we us. There's just not that many of us, and the ones that are vocal about their pronouns that are of we us tend to end up getting a psych evaluation and sometimes don't pass. And we've passed our psych evaluation because, baby, listen. Oh, and that's a funny story. Maybe we'll tell that story tomorrow. We have our psych evaluation. Girl, and we passed it with flying colors and we were tipsy. It was our first time drinking and we were 28. We haven't drank since we were 24, so 4 years. We broke our sobriety. At least we were a good boy, good girl, a good teen, a little good being. As you can see, boom, yes, all of our information there. Y'all just can't see the social because we don't give her out. If you want the social girl, you can go to social media. Anyway, oh look, and Envision. That's where we are getting our LASIK, and then we have one more folder, which Chase because we officially opened up our third business. See, all of these things that we put forth energy to manifest or create or just got the fuck up off of our ass to do. Excuse our language. We used to be like, oh, no, we don't want to curse and no, we don't want to be on camera, but girl, at this damn point, it is what it is. Anyway, being this ghetto, ghetto. Anyway, we love you all as always. Hopefully, you absorb all four core elements so that you can see the beautiful creature that you truly are each and every day. So, that is when you first get up, make sure you drink 6 to 8 ounces of room temperature water. If you would like cold water, even better. But room temperature is great. And then open up a window, go step outside on the patio or porch, inhale that fresh oxygen because you need that in your lungs. And then make sure you go step out on the grass, girl, and take the shoes off. Honey, it's okay to ground yourself because we are a part of nature, hence why you also have to eat those greens. Celery, spinach, kale, arugula. Get you a green smoothie. And then absorb the sunlight because for us beings that have melanin, it's essential. But it's essential to all of us because it also helps keep this and these healthy. Because little did you all know, just like we said, we are all robots and pups and unicorns and masculine and feminine energy and all of these other things. We're also just houseplants with complicated emotions. All right, she's out. Love you all.